In the vast wilderness of Wyoming, where wide open spaces stretch for miles and the population barely reaches 600,000, some secrets remain buried forever. Between 1980 and 2019, 972 murders occurred in Wyoming. 835 were solved, but 137 cases remain cold. Today, we're diving into 5 of Wyoming's most haunting unsolved mysteries, cases that have baffled investigators for decades, cases where families still wait for answers. This is 5 Wyoming cold cases still unsolved in 2025. July 24th, 1997, Lander, Wyoming. 24-year-old Amy Wroe Bechtel was living what seemed like a perfect life. A talented athlete and recent graduate, she'd been married to her husband Steve for just over a year. That afternoon, she planned to go jogging in the Wind River Mountains, a route she knew well. At 2:30 p.m., Amy was last seen at a photo shop in downtown Lander. Her Toyota Tercel was later found abandoned on Loop Road near the Shawny National Forest. The keys were still in the ignition. Her running shoes were inside. But Amy was gone. Initial theories suggested she'd fallen victim to the elements or perhaps a bear attack, but as weeks turned to months with no trace of her body, investigators began suspecting foul play. The case took a dark turn when police discovered Steve's journals. Inside were disturbing entries describing violent fantasies about women, including his own wife. Steve became the prime suspect, but without a body, without physical evidence, no charges were ever filed. In October 2025, 28 years later, a new tip emerged. A woman who once housed convicted killer Dale Wayne Eaton believes her Natrona County property may hold clues to Amy's disappearance. As of today, Amy Wroe Bechtel's case remains open. Her family still searches for answers, and somewhere in Wyoming's wilderness, her story waits to be uncovered. June 21st, 2001, Cheyenne, Wyoming, 8 a.m. 25-year-old James Jamie Kamai was driving down West College Drive, approximately 75 yards west of South Greeley Highway. It was a busy street. Witnesses were everywhere. And that's when someone shot him. Multiple gunshots shattered Jamie's windshield. His vehicle veered off the road. By the time first responders arrived, Jamie was dead. But here's what makes this case so disturbing. This was broad daylight on a busy Cheyenne street. Dozens of cars driving past, and yet no one saw the shooter's face. Investigators believe Jamie may have been involved in a road rage incident moments before the shooting. Witnesses reported seeing him confront an erratic driver. But who that driver was and why they opened fire remains a complete mystery. Laramie County detectives have followed hundreds of leads over the past 24 years. They've interviewed witnesses, analyzed ballistics, and combed through Jamie's life looking for enemies. Nothing. No suspect, no motive, no justice. Jamie's family still holds vigils every June 21st, hoping someone will finally come forward. The Wyoming Division of Criminal Investigation has offered rewards for information, but as of 2025, Jamie Kamai's killer is still out there, walking free. February 8th, 2003, Weld County, Colorado, just miles from the Wyoming border. A rancher made a horrifying discovery in his field, the body of 32-year-old Shawny Smith. Shawny was a beloved Cheyenne teacher and mother of 2 young children. She'd been brutally beaten, sexually assaulted, and left to die in the freezing cold. The last confirmed sighting of Shawny was in Cheyenne, Wyoming, but her body was found across the state line in Colorado, creating a jurisdictional nightmare for investigators. Forensic evidence suggested Shawny knew her attacker. There were no signs of a random abduction. Detectives believed this was personal. But despite collecting DNA evidence, conducting hundreds of interviews, and even re-examining the case with modern forensic technology in 2020, no arrests have ever been made. Shawny's 2 children grew up without their mother. Her family has fought for decades to keep the case in the public eye. In 2023, Wyoming passed new legislation specifically designed to help solve cases like Shawny's, creating a statewide cold case database and dedicating resources to unsolved homicides. But for Shawny's family, that legislation came 20 years too late. As of today, Shawny Smith's murderer has never been identified. September 24th. 2010, Yellowstone National Park. 48-year-old Stuart Isaac left his home in Burtonsville, Maryland with a plan: drive 32 hours across the country to Yellowstone for a solo camping trip. Stuart, a native of the Republic of Palau, was described as an experienced outdoorsman. At 5 feet 8 and 215 pounds, he had distinctive tattoos on his right tricep and both arms. He left a note for his family. He had supplies. He knew where he was going. And then he vanished. On September 26, 2010, park rangers found Stuart's vehicle abandoned at Craig Pass inside Yellowstone. His camping gear was still inside. His wallet, identification, and personal belongings were untouched. But Stuart was nowhere to be found. Helicopter searches turned up nothing. Tracker dogs lost his scent almost immediately. Here's what makes this case so eerie. Yellowstone is one of the most monitored national parks in America. There are cameras, ranger stations, and thousands of visitors every single day. How does a 215-pound man simply disappear without a trace? Some theories suggest Stuart fell victim to wildlife. Yellowstone is home to grizzly bears and wolves. Others believe he may have gotten lost and succumbed to the elements. But his family believes something else happened, something the official reports don't explain. As of 2025, Stuart Isaac is one of 3 people who vanished in Yellowstone National Park and were never seen again. His case remains open. And somewhere in Wyoming's most famous wilderness, his story remains untold. June 3rd, 2011, Newcastle, Wyoming. When Katherine Coffee didn't show up for work, Her co-worker grew concerned. Katherine, age 35, was reliable. She never missed a shift without calling. What they found would haunt them forever. Katherine had been shot to death inside her own home. The crime scene suggested Katherine knew her killer. There was no forced entry, no signs of a robbery. This wasn't a random act of violence. Investigators immediately focused on people in Katherine's life, friends, family, acquaintances. Someone she trusted had walked through that door and murdered her in cold blood. In December 2015, 4 years after the murder, Campbell County Sheriff's Office assisted Weston County in a breakthrough. An arrest was made. But here's where the case gets complicated. Despite the arrest, the case details remain sealed. No public trial information is available. The suspect's identity has never been officially confirmed. Was justice served? Did the right person get arrested? Or is Katherine's real killer still out there? As of 2025, the truth remains unclear. These 5 cases represent just a fraction of Wyoming's unsolved mysteries. 137 families still wait for answers. 137 cases where justice has been delayed but not forgotten. If you have any information about these cases, please contact the Wyoming Division of Criminal Investigation or your local law enforcement agency. Which case haunts you the most? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see more cold cases from across America, subscribe and hit that notification bell, because some stories deserve to be told. Until next time, stay safe out there.